1. Talk about an appointment you made as a child. What was the appointment for? Was it for a doctor, a dentist, or a new school? What did you actually do and what happened when you got to your appointment? 2. Unexpected things can happen when you make an appointment. Talk about a memorable incident related to an appointment. What exactly happened and how did you deal with the situation? 3. Sometimes problems can arise when you are at the bank. Tell me in detail about a problem you had that involved your bank. Maybe the bank was closed or perhaps the bank might have made some kind of mistake. Tell me about how you solved the problem. 4. Tell me about a memorable incident that happened at a bar. What exactly happened and why was it special? Tell me everything about that unforgettable incident at the bar. 5. Tell me about the first bar you remember going to. What did it look like? Give me as many details as you can. 6. Tell me about a special visit to a bar or a pub. Maybe you celebrated your birthday there or that of a friend. Tell me what you did before and after your bar visit and how you spent your time at the bar. Tell me the whole story. 7. Tell me about a particularly memorable trip to the beach. Who were you with? Which beach were you at? What did you do there? What made this trip to the beach more memorable or special? Tell me everything you did from the moment you arrived there. 8. Tell me about a memorable incident that happened at a coffee shop. What happened? Who was involved? How did you deal with the situation? Tell me everything about what happened from beginning to end. 9. Talk about the first coffee shop you went to. What was special about that place? What do you remember most? 10. Traveling can lead to many kinds of interesting, funny, and unexpected experiences. Tell me about one travel experience you had that was unforgettable. Start by telling me when this happened, where you were, and who you were with. Then, tell me about all the things that happened that make this experience so unforgettable. 11. Tell me about some of the trips that you took in your childhood. Where did you go? Who did you go with? And what did you do or see during those early trips? 12. Can you tell me about a piece of furniture you bought recently for some reasons? What was it? Why did you buy it? Where did you buy it? 13. Talk about what you did with your family members or friends recently. Tell me everything about the activities you did with them. 14. Talk about a time when you visited a friend or a family member. What did you do when you visited them? What was memorable about that visit? Tell me everything from beginning to end. 15. Talk about a visit to a friend or a family member in your childhood. Who did you visit and whom did you go with? What do you remember about that visit? What made the visit special? 16. Tell me about the last time you bought a new piece of clothing. What did you need and where did you find it? Were there any challenges or problems? Give me all the details of the story. 17. Talk about a time when you went to buy some clothes. What did you buy and what was special about that shopping experience? 18. Tell me how you found out about eating healthy. Did your family eat healthy when you were growing up? Did your friend become healthier by eating healthy food? Describe to me in detail about how you started to eat healthy. 19. When was the last time you had some healthy food? Who was it with and how did you feel? What was special about that experience? 20. Tell me about a memorable experience you had while eating something. It could be good or bad. What happened? Why was it so memorable or special? Tell me everything in as much detail as possible. 21. Tell me about a memory that you have about a special food or dish from your childhood. Tell me where and when you had this dish. Describe in detail. What made this experience so memorable? 22. Sometimes when we want to eat, things do not work out. Reservations at restaurants get lost or meals delivered to offices or homes have missing items. Tell me a story of a time when you wanted to eat but things did not work out as planned for you or someone you know. Tell me everything you did to resolve this situation from beginning to end. 23. Can you tell me about the last time you had some free time? When was it? What did you do? Did you spend the time with someone? 24. Tell me about a time when you had problems with your furniture. Perhaps it could have gotten damaged for some reason. Tell me what exactly happened and how you solved the problem. 25. Sometimes, problems arise when it comes to furniture. Things might break. Or the fabric might get stained or ripped. Tell me about a time when you had a problem with a piece of furniture. Tell me everything that happened and how you fixed the problem. 26. How did you become interested in playing games? How did you learn how to play? 27. Tell me about a memorable experience from playing games. Why is it so memorable? Tell me about your experience in detail. 28. What did you do at your last gathering or celebration? What was the occasion? Give me all the details about the gathering or the celebration you had. 29. Talk about a memorable incident that happened at a gathering or a celebration. Why was it memorable? What made it unforgettable? 30. Sometimes when people get together for celebrations or gatherings, unexpected things can happen. Tell me all about something unexpected that happened at a celebration or a gathering in the area where you live. Tell me what happened from beginning to end. 31. Tell me about the last holiday party or celebration that you attended. Give me lots of details about what happened. Who was there with you? Tell me about what you did from beginning to end. 32. Tell me about a gathering or a celebration that was held in the area in which you live. Describe where the gathering was held, who was there, what the purpose of the gathering was, and what happened from beginning to end. 33. Talk about a time when you helped prepare for a party or a celebration. Perhaps you helped invite people, decorate the venue, or get the food or drinks. Tell me about this experience from the beginning to end. 34. How did you develop your interest in bike riding? Who taught you how to ride and how old were you? Provide as many details as possible. 35. People often have memorable or moving experiences when they explore their country's geography. You might climb a famous mountain or swim at a beautiful beach. Tell me a memorable story of a time when you visited a natural place in your country. 36. Have you ever changed a habit or a certain lifestyle for your health? Maybe you started to work out or eat healthy. Tell me about that change you made. 37. Talk about one thing that you did for your health in detail. What kind of impact did it have on your health? Give me all the details about the effect that it had on your health. 38. Talk about a holiday memory from your childhood. Tell me where you were and what that place looked like. Tell me everything that you remember from that holiday scene. 39. Talk about the most recent holiday you spent. Why was that holiday memorable? Was there anything special? Talk about why that holiday was particularly unforgettable. 40. People often have memories of especially beautiful and interesting hotels. Tell me about a hotel that you remember for some reason. Where was it? What did it look like? Describe it for me in as much detail as possible. 41. When was the last time you stayed in a hotel? Tell me the whole story of where you were, why you were there, and what you did there. Take me through the whole hotel stay from start to finish. 42. Sometimes we want to change something in our home. Maybe get new furniture or do some painting or decorating. Tell me about one change that you made in your home. Tell me why you decided to make that change and everything you had to do to make that change happen. 43. Talk about a special memory you had at home with your family members. Perhaps you had guests over or had a party of some sort. Tell me about that experience in detail. 44. Talk about a special memory you had with your family members at home. Maybe it was something funny, surprising, or important that happened. Tell me about that moment that stands out in your memory. Give me lots of details. 45. There are always problems that happen in any home. Things break. Projects do not go as planned, or people you live with don't cooperate. Tell me about some problems or issues that have happened in your home. 46. Pick one of those problems you just mentioned and explain everything that happened. Start with when it happened and anything that may have caused the problem. Then, explain in detail everything you did to resolve the problem. 47. What were your responsibilities at home when you were young? What were you expected to do? 48. Tell me about the responsibilities that you had when you were a child. What were you expected to do? How did you handle these responsibilities? 49. Have you ever had any difficulty because you couldn't fulfill your responsibility when you were young? Perhaps, you couldn't finish your housework or something. What was it about and how did you deal with the situation? 50. Do you remember a specific incident when you were a child where you could not do a task you were supposed to do for some reason? I would like to know all the details about what happened, what you were supposed to do, and why couldn't you do it? 51. What kinds of efforts have you made for your career in the past? Tell me about some individual efforts that you have made for your career. 52. Tell me about your first experience of surfing the internet. What did you do? What do you remember most about that experience? 53. How did you use the internet to get a project done in the past? When was it? What was the project about? 54. We all have things that we remember on the internet. Talk about the memorable things that you have seen on the internet. Why were they memorable? 55. What is a memorable video that you watched on the internet? Maybe it was something funny, or something about work, school, or leisure. Tell me everything about that video. 56. What did you do on the internet yesterday? What websites did you visit? Tell me about the things you did online yesterday. 57. Tell me about when you went to the movies recently. Who did you go with and how was the day? What did you do before and after the movie? 58. I would like to know about the last time you went to the movies. Tell me everything that happened that day, including all the things you did before and after the movie. 59. What was a memorable movie you watched in the past? What was it about? What was special about that movie? Would you recommend that movie to other people? 60. Who is one of your favorite actors? Tell me a specific story about something this actor did that you heard about in the news. Begin the story with some details about the actor or the actress and then tell me all the details of what happened, especially things that made this incident so interesting to movie fans. 61. Could you think back to a particularly memorable time when you heard live music? Describe that experience in detail. When was it? Where were you? Who were you with? What happened that made that performance so memorable or special? 62. Tell me about your first trip to another country or city. When did you go? Where did you visit? What did you do there? Who did you go with? Tell me about that trip with lots of details. 63. Sometimes, something out of the ordinary happens while traveling. I wonder if you have ever experienced anything surprising, unexpected, or unusual during a trip. Tell me the story of that experience in detail. Start by telling when and where you were traveling, and then give me all the details of that experience. 64. Think about another country that you visited when you were young. Describe what that country was like with lots of details. What were your impressions there? 65. Tell me a specific story about a time that you or someone you know traveled outside your country. Perhaps something happened that was funny, interesting, frightening, etc. Tell me the story of what happened from beginning to end. 66. Tell me about a foreign country you visited when you were young. What was special about that visit? What do you remember doing? 67. Describe the last time you went to a park. Which park was it? When was it? Tell me everything you did from the moment you arrived at the park to the time you left. 68. Tell me about a memorable experience you had at a park. Maybe there was a special event at the park. Maybe something unexpected happened. Begin by giving me some background about when and where it was. And then give me all the details about what happened. 69. Tell me about a time when you had trouble using your phone. What was the problem and how did you deal with the situation? 70. Tell me about a recent phone call you remember. Who did you talk to and what did you talk about? What made that phone call so memorable? 71. How did you get to pick your current phone? Did someone recommend that phone for you? What are some things that made you buy that phone? 72. Have any books had a positive effect on you? I'd like to know about one of those books. When did you come to read the book? What was the book about? How has reading that book affected your life? 73. Problems sometimes occur while recycling. Perhaps the pickup service did not come as planned. Or the items were too big for the containers. Tell me about something memorable related to recycling. 74. Tell me about a time when you went to listen to some live music. Perhaps it was at a concert or a live cafe. What was the mood like and how did you like the music you listened to there? 75. Tell me what recycling was like when you were a child. Was there a particular place to which you took out the recyclables? Describe what it was like and what you did in detail. 76. Tell me what recycling was like when you were a child. Was there a particular place to bring the recyclables? Did you have special containers? Describe what it was like and what you did in detail. 77. Can you tell me a story or an experience you had related to recycling? Maybe something went wrong with the recycling or you might have had a discussion with a friend who disagrees with your opinions about recycling. Describe your experience in detail. 78. Tell me about a restaurant you ate out at recently. What kind of restaurant was it? What was their menu and what did you eat? Who did you go with? Did you like how the food tasted? 79. When was the last time you ate at a restaurant with an international menu? What was the occasion? Who was with you? What did you eat? Tell me the entire story of that visit. 80. Now, tell me about a restaurant you used to go to as a child. What was it like? What did you eat? Who did you go with? What do you remember most about that place? Tell me about that restaurant in as much detail as possible. 81. Describe for me a restaurant that you remember from your childhood. What was the restaurant like? Was it different from the restaurants you visit today? 82. Talk about the last time you used a takeout or delivery food service. What did you get and where was it? What do you remember about that experience? 83. Talk about a time when you prepared for a special occasion using a takeout or delivery service. You could have prepared food for a party. What kinds of food did you get from the restaurant? Tell me about that experience in as much detail as possible. 84. Talk about a time when you used a takeout or a delivery service for a special occasion involving a large number of people. What was the occasion? What did you have to do to use the service? Tell me about that experience in as much detail as possible. 85. Tell me about how you found out about a special food or grocery store. Maybe a new specialty store opened in your community or a new farmer's market opened and you wanted to try those places out. How did you find out about this new food or grocery store? 86. Tell me about a time when you were having a meal at a restaurant and something unusual or unexpected happened. Tell me the whole story in detail. 87. Tell me the story of the last time you had a chance to eat out at a restaurant. Where did you go? Who was with you? What did you have? Tell me everything that happened from start to finish. 88. Think of your early memories of shopping. Was there a store or a market you remember from your childhood? Describe this place for me in detail. What did it look like and what were your impressions of that place? 89. People sometimes go through difficulties while they are shopping. What were some problems you had to deal with while you were shopping? 90. When was the last time you went to shop for something? Where did you go and what did you buy? Who did you go with? What was special about that shopping experience? 91. Tell me about a posting that you remember. Maybe it was something that you put up, or it was by another person. Was a picture or a video clip attached to it? Why was it special or unforgettable? 92. How did you first become interested in swimming? Did somebody or something influence you? If so, who or what was it that got you interested in swimming? 93. Have you ever had an unforgettable experience while swimming? When was it and who were you with? Tell me about the incident from beginning to end. 94. Can you tell me about the last time you went swimming? What did you do before you went swimming? What did you do afterwards? Tell me about all the things you did that day. 95. Problems often come up because of our dependence on technology. Think about a time when you experienced a problem because some piece of technology was not working properly. Maybe your computer crashed or maybe your cell phone had no service. Tell me about a time when you had some kind of problem getting your technology to work. 96. Problems often arise related to transportation. Cars break down, trains run late, or there are traffic jams. Tell me about a transportation problem that you once faced. Tell me everything that happened and what you did to deal with the situation. 97. Can you tell me about a TV show or a movie that was particularly memorable? What was it and who was in it? Where did the action take place? What happened and why was it so memorable for you? Give me the details starting from the beginning to the end. 98. Describe exactly what you did during the last vacation that you spent at home. Give me a description from the first to the last day of all the people you saw and everything that you did. 99. Could you tell me about an unusual, unexpected, or satisfying experience you had while at home on vacation? Tell me all the details of that experience. What happened? Who was involved? And why was this experience so memorable? 100. Severe weather conditions can do a lot of damage. Tell me about an experience you had related to severe weather conditions. Perhaps a city was flooded, or maybe businesses or schools closed due to heavy snow. What was the problem? How did you deal with the situation? Give me all the details about that experience. 101. What is the first interested you in music? When you first listen your favorite song. Why did you like it? Has your taste in music changed at all?